What's good? What's good? What's good, Yankee Nation? This is another episode of the Yankified podcast post game. Going to talk a little bit about the Yankee Sox game. Another listless, embarrassing, insipid, useless performance at Fenway. Back-to-back listless, insipid games. And that's the Yankees now dropped 6 out of 9. They've dropped 6 of 9. And now, because of the Rays, it's now a 1-game lead in the division. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys worried? How are you feeling about this team? I mean, I think you guys kind of have a good sense as to where I'm at with this team. So none of this is really a surprise to me, but I want to get a gauge of our Yankee fans in the chat to see where you guys are at. I thought tonight was another awful performance. They didn't show up. They were no hit through 5 innings. It was almost a perfect game for the first 5 innings. And they weren't at it. I mean, Will Warren was horrible. He never gave the team any chance whatsoever. Will Warren is starting to look exactly as I was expecting him to look, like a very mediocre pitcher. He's been pretty damn mediocre the last couple of outings, and I'm not a fan of his just because he doesn't have an out pitch, and that was pretty obvious when facing up to Contreras. I thought Contreras made an ass out of him. I thought Contreras made Warren look like a fool. And then we're going to talk about that fake tough guy act. And I'm kind of with Contreras on that, I have to be honest. So where is everybody in the chat? Come and say hello. We'll have a quick post game. But listless. Just listen. I can't think of another word to describe what we just witnessed. It was poor. It was pretty disgraceful. And the Yankees are starting to trend down. I mean, does anybody disagree? I think the Yankees are starting to trend down here. And if you look at the schedule, it's not going to be kind. Yeah, that's that. The Yankees deserve nothing but boos for that performance. So quick look at the old box score. I thought Warren was terrible. And what about another awful throw from Volpe? Trying to turn a double play, and it was the weakest, flattest, just your 95-year-old grandma throwing to you kind of throw to first base. That's Anthony Volpe. Once again, the most coddled shortstop on earth. The most coddled shortstop on earth. Another terrible display at shortstop from the most awful shortstop on earth. So he was awful. Will Warren, again, he doesn't have an out pitch. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. And to be honest, the Sox had no issues with him. They're kind of lucky. I think Warren was lucky to only get away with 5 earned runs on his score. Got TC Steals in the chat. What's good? What's good, TC? This is the real Yankees. Yeah, with the real Yankees, please stand up. I have a feeling this is the real Yankees, man. I do have a feeling about that. This is the real Yankees. Yeah. As I say, they've lost 6 out of 9. And you look at this lineup, and I think this lineup is trending down, personally. You look at this lineup. Well, what do we have today? Ben Rice was out of the lineup for whatever God-given reason. But, when you got Alex Sanchez / Austin Wells at catcher, you're not going to get anything there. You get Volpe. He got 1 hit. Congratulations. Let's all give him another lifetime contract. He sucks. Jazz sucks. Cody Bellinger, he's in a slump. Rice is in a little bit of a slump. Rosario, he's only good against lefties, and he didn't show up today. And Goldschmidt had a quiet game from his standards. But yeah, I just think that there's too many automatic outs in this lineup. And then Will Warren. And he was the biggest problem, to be fair. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks. You can't win like that. You can't win pitching like that. And he was lucky. It was only five earned runs, really. No strikeouts. This is the big takeaway from Will Warren outing. Almost 6 innings against one of the worst teams in baseball, one of the worst offenses in baseball in the Red Sox. They've got a terrible offense, apart from Contreras. And he gave you 0 strikeout. He had no strikeouts. 0 strikeouts from Will Warren. That's what I keep saying. He doesn't have an out pitch. Got FJ in the chat. Was good. Warren has been struggling in his last few starts. I agree. That's it. As I say, I'm not a big Will Warren fan. I think that he's got a low ceiling. He's surprised me. He's had a better year than I expected, but still, if you look at his ERA, it's closer to 4, and that's kind of what I'm expecting from him anyway. Another poor start from him, and his ERA will be climbing into the 4s. And that's probably where he is right now as a pitcher that he is. I don't think he's nearly as good as some people make him out to be. As I say, he needs to learn how to get a strikeout pitch. He doesn't have one. His strikeout numbers are actually okay, but tonight was awful. 0 Ks. I just don't think he has a put-away pitch yet. But that can come, but I just don't see him being a high-level starter. I think he's a very mediocre fifth starter. And he got showed up today. He never gave the Yankees an opportunity to do anything. Having said that, the Yankee offense was disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. They played as if they were running to catch a late movie. They're running to catch the next Supergirl fucking showing at the cinema in Boston. I mean, honestly, I don't understand what the rush was, but they were rushing. I think it was the 5th inning. Guess how many pitches? Guess how many freaking pitches it took to get out of that 5th inning? Peyton Tolley. Guess how many pitches Tolley threw in the 5th inning to get out of that? 5. 5 pitches to get 3 outs. 5 pitches to get 3 outs. That's embarrassing. Absolutely disgraceful, abject, listless. Every word you want, disgraceful from the Yankee offense. Like, you couldn't put anything together. Now, I really do like Peyton Toll. Peyton Toll's good. He's had a good year. He's been unlucky with the win-loss record because the Red Sox suck, but his ERA is good, 3 ERA. A 109 whip, 62 Ks. He's a good pitcher. And he went 7 innings tonight. And at one point, it looked like he was going to pitch a perfect game. But the Yankees just made it easy for him, man. They didn't want to draw any walks. They didn't want to draw any deep counts. They were swinging at the first pitch regardless. And they were all weak as shit can of corns. Like, it was a disgraceful performance, especially after what happened the night before, where you basically shit all over yourselves and had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 errors. Only 4 counted, but really it was more. You would think that they would have wanted to show up and put their best foot forward. No. And that's why I'm a little bit concerned. Now I'm starting to think, this team there's some serious problems here because they did not show up again back to back. after that embarrassing display, when probably the worst loss of the year this year, um, the other night, 24 hours ago, was the worst outing of the year for the Yankees. They had threw the ball over the place, 4 errors, 4 were going on about 10. You would think, okay, maybe they're going to try and put their best foot forward, maybe draw some deep count. No. First pitch, can of corn. First pitch, ground out. First pitch, strike. Just absolutely nothing. Just, I mean, as I say, that inning where it took 5 pitches to get 3 outs, I was just reactionless. I was watching it, and I just, after that inning, which went by like that, I just said, disgraceful. That's all I said, disgraceful. Because that is disgraceful. There's not another word for it. What a disgrace. You couldn't draw any kind of pitch count? What's the rush? It's a World Cup game you want to watch? There's TiVo. You can just record it. What's the rush? The USA were playing the day before. There was no rush. What are you rushing for? It was a shocking performance, really. And the Red Sox cruised, and it was done. Well, to be honest, the game was done after. It was done after the second inning. Really, it pretty much was done after the second inning, because you could just tell how these at bats were going and what Will Warren was not doing. And so you have that, and then you add what I felt was the softest, most pointless bench clearing. And it just, again, speaks to how insipid this Yankees are. Like, what was the purpose of that? What was even the purpose of it? It just felt like fake tough guys. This is definitely not the Yankees Red Sox of old, where fists would be swinging. You know what I'm saying? There would be some fights going on. There would be all kinds of stuff going on. There would be all kinds of jawing. But you know what it was? It was just a bunch of, they started hugging it out in the end. Aaron Judge just standing there at the back, just kind of smiling. I mean, it was just like Aaron Boone in the middle of it. He was just chewing his seeds, blowing his bubbles. Like, it was like, what was the point? It was absolutely pointless. Why did the benches clear? Why go to the effort for getting out of the bullpen, walking all the way over to the other end of the field just to stand there and basically hug? It was so pointless. It was so pointless. And it just speaks to what the Yankees are. They're just like a big, just fake tough guy act. What was Will Warren joining for? I know people are going to be blaming Contreras. I don't. I mean, Warren walked him. If you didn't like him, how about, pitch to him, get him out, throw some strikes. Maybe if you didn't like him crowding the plate, how about you get him off the plate? Oh my God, old school once again. Old man in the lawn, but it's true. It is true. If that was Roger Clemens, if that was David Wells, you know what I'm saying? If that was Pedro Martinez on the other side, if you're crowding the plate, you're getting a high heater to get you off the plate. That's what you do. It's old school, but it's as old as time. It's a strategy as old as time. Rocket Roger used to always do that. If you're crowding the plate and you don't like him crowding the plate, boom, little bit of high heat, nothing dangerous, just a little bit of a, hey, this is my plate, and That's but Will Warren has just nothing. So it was completely pointless. He walked them listlessly, and then there was some sort of jawing back and forth. Completely pointless. So I'm kind of with Contreras on that. Who else agrees with me? That's just my opinion. I know everyone's going to think that Contreras is just being an asshole. I don't think so. I see someone that hit a home run against them, and it lands down street, right over the Green Monster. Um, and Will Warren was clearly terrified of him. So, he just pitched around him. So that's it. Move on with your day. I just thought Will Warren was a pussy. And I think the Yankees are a big bunch of pussies. I'll be honest. And heck, if you even didn't like what Contreras did, why not? Why not? Why not throw something next time he comes up to the plate? Why not throw something near him? Just a little bit of something. No, but no, these Yankees are just a bunch of pals. It's just a bunch of pals. There's no rivalries here. Who are the Yankees rivals with? Let's be honest. Who do the Yankees dislike? I don't think they dislike anybody. They are the nicest bunch of guys, honestly. They just smile around. It's fine. Don't worry. It's good. You know what? We don't want to win today, so here's another dub. We didn't want to play yesterday, so we'll throw the ball over the infield. That's cool. Oh, there's some benches clearing. That's fine. Let's just hug it out. It's just, I don't know. This is not the Yankees that I grew up with, bro. I'll tell you that. I mean, I was used to Yankee Red Sox games going about 6 hours. They were marathons. It didn't matter if you were down 5-0 because the Yankees would come back. You could bet your bottom dollar they would. And they would probably walk it off. And A-Rod would hit something in the Fenway over the Green Monster to break some Red Sox hearts. That's the kind of stuff that used to happen. And it was great. And he pissed some people off in the meantime. And there would be benches clearing. There would be fights. Remember the Yankee coaching staff was fighting with the Red Sox when Pedro Martinez was throwing hands. It was fun. That was Garcia, the Garcia punch. That's what it was all about, man. Karim Garcia, bang. That's what it was about. Yankee Red Sox were fantastic. And then you fast forwarded to 2026 in these last two games, and it's the most listless, embarrassing, I can't be bothered to play display you'll ever come across. This is not the Yankees, man. This is just not the Yankees. This is not the Yankees that I grew up with. I doubt this is the Yankees that people that are watching grew up with, because Yankee Red Sox used to mean something. Now, I understand we're in first place, they're in last place, but they were the team that played. They were the team that played like they were in first place. And the Yankees were the team that were playing like they were in last place. The Yankees played like they just could not be bothered. The Yankees played like they could not be bothered, like they had something better to do. Like they wanted to go and celebrate with the Norwegian fans in the stands. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to row with the Norwegian fans in the stands in Fenway. They did not want to swing any bats. What they could not be bothered. 5 pitches in 1 inning to get out of it. Are you kidding me? A total nothing burger. It's a most pointless bench clearing situation where you're just like, oh, here we go. Normally, in baseball world, when bench is clear, it's like, right, here we go. Let's freaking go. No. It was so pointless. I even said when the benches were clearing and you had both benches coming over, you had the bullpens coming over, I just said, just sit down. This is pointless. nothing's going to happen here. We know nothing's going to happen. You're wasting everyone's time. Let's just go sit down. Yankees, stop trying to be the big bad guys. You're not. So just stop trying to be something you're not. So just how about just get on with this game? Because you don't want to be playing it anyway. So let's fast forward to the end. So it was so painfully obvious. You can tell when the Yankees don't want to play. And that was the case today. They could not be bothered to play. They put no competitive at-bats together. They didn't string two decent at-bats together at all. They couldn't be bothered. They could not be bothered. And when has that ever been the case against the Red Sox? Now, I know the Red Sox suck, but that should be even more of an incentive to stamp them, to stamp your foot on their necks and just and shut them up. All those the Yankees suck chants in Fenway. Surely you want to shut them up. No, because they don't care. They just don't freaking care. Mr. Bubbles just like, that's it. And he and the rest of the team just follows his attitude. He's just like, it was ironic because Joe Torre was sitting to the left of him. And I mean, you couldn't. I mean, that was such an image that I can't get out of my head. You had Joe Torre there in the front row, and right beside him was Mr. Bubbles. And could you get a bigger difference in Yankee history of Yankee managers? You have Joe Torre, the best of the best, a dynasty manager, one for fun, and represented pride of the Yankees and everything that was great about the Yankees. And now the new manager. The worst manager I've ever seen in Yankee history. The worst. And he's there, blowing bubbles. It's quite a dichotomy, really quite a difference. And that's how much things have changed. And not for the better. No, I've got Stevie B here in the chat. This isn't the Yankees I grew up with. They could be down 8 and come back when this team doesn't have heart of a champion. No, they don't. Stuffing things. What's going on? Brutal lineup. Why couldn't we acquire Wilson Contreras? I was thinking that. Mr. Lollipop kids are playing. What do you expect from analytics who can't see real baseball and use common sense to play the best players at the right position? I think Mark Teixeira would make a good manager. I honestly think that several past Yankees would embody more of a leader than Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone is just not a leader. He's not a leader of men. I'll keep saying it, and I'll say it to the end of time. He is not a leader of men. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, if you're playing, right? You're playing in the field. And you look over and your manager is Mr. Bubbles, right? Aaron Bubbles. And he's at the top step looking bored and he's blowing enormous pink bubbles. What would you guys do? Would you feel like you want to run through a wall for him? Would you feel like you want to do whatever it takes to please him and to do whatever it takes to win on that day for him? It's a question. No, I'm not old enough for Stump Merrill, my friend. I'm not old enough for Stump Merrill. But between, I mean, it's a pretty easy case. In my lifetime, you're talking about Buck, Torrey, Girardi, Boom. It's pretty obvious that Boone is the worst by a country mile of those. And before Boone isn't Mr. Bubbles, it's Mrs. Powderpuff Girl, the Cartoon Network. That's a good one. Salute to you, man. Thank you for hopping in. But there it is, right? So you're playing second base, you're playing shortstop, you're playing first base, and you look over to your manager, and he's blowing the biggest pink bubble on earth. Would that motivate you? Would that motivate you? It wouldn't motivate me. I'd be just looking over and saying, "Oh, that's a fan." That's not a manager. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't give off an air of a manager, and his decisions are ridiculous. And it's just, he's a camp counselor, man. He's a camp counselor. I can't say nothing more about that. He just is. And again, just nothing. Just nothing. No heart, no effort, no energy. You couldn't have taken those guys aside after the second inning when you're down a couple of runs and go and ask those players to start working some deep counts. Pull the offense aside and go, we'll start working some deep counts. Let's chip away. Let's not just kick this game away. Let's put in an effort. Let's up the energy a little bit. No. 5 pitches to get 3 outs for Toll. Come on, man. Come on. Just useless. Really poor. Really, really poor. Who I would like as the next Yankee manager? Jorge Posada. I would love Jorge Posada to be or at least have him as the bench coach. But I would love to see him involved. What's going on? Worst fucking day. What's going on, man? Emilio in the chat. What's good, Emilio? That was insipid. Stuff and things. My guy, he's the worst manager in baseball. He pinch hit for Austin, right? He brought in. Imagine pinch hitting Austin Wells. Imagine putting Austin Wells in that spot. He's batting 150. What a pathetic showing. Is this guy a delusional moron or what? You're not doing the guy any favors. Volpe needs to leave the fucking... What about that throw? That listless little throw that cost us a run. He's just so... His arm is pathetic, man. It's beyond belief. His arm is pathetic. Right, guys, in the chat. What would you compare his arm to? You're awesome, Don. Cheers to you and your success. Well, salute to you, bro. What would you compare his arm to? I compare it to a 95-year-old grandmother. What would you compare Volpe's arm to? Right? Best suggestions in the chat, please. Cappy makes that play. Exactly. Volpe is not major league. Of course, but he's coddled. He's freaking coddled. Worst freaking arm in the league. It's ridiculous. Got the arm of a 95-year-old grandmother. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And he continues to play every single day without accountability. I compare Volpe's arm to squid. It's just a squid arm. Arm of a wet noodle. Just nothing. Just how is it possible? You know, I'm amazed at how bad his arm is. You know, this is his job. This is his vocation. He's young. He works out. He's a shortstop, apparently. How is his arm this bad? How? I could get up off this chair right now and throw something harder than Volpe can. And I'm fucking 40. I would say he throws like a girl, but yes, girls throw hard. No disrespect to the girls out there, man. Girls can throw harder than this clown. All right, TC says he has his 3-year-old grandson throws better. I do not doubt that at all. So we've got, so far in the chat, we've got 3-year-old grandson, 95-year-old grandmother, and a squid. Any other suggestions for what we compare Anthony Volpe's arm to? The best ones get a star. Let's get creative, guys. Let's have some fun with it. Volpe, well, it's at the same height since day one. They're not consistent at all. Enough is enough. They want to be right, but it's falling apart in front of them. Exactly. What's good, Chef Nick? Let's collab, my guy. Donald, my guy, just finished the play-by-play. Nice one, man. With Evan, awesome. Hope all is well with you, brother. Hope all is well with you too. Thank you so much for hopping on. Love your support, my guy. Let's sort out a collab. Jeter out of retirement. Jeter out of retirement would hit better than Volpe. That I promise. And in frickin' in a suit, he's throwing harder than Anthony Volpe in his suit. In a tux. The whole outfit. Tux, the whole thing, and Jeter would still throw harder than Anthony Volpe. Carl Lewis and 50 Cent are better. I would say so. Damn, they would throw harder than Volpe. Come on. Yeah. Shit, yeah. Noodle arm. Absolutely. That's 4. All right. Noodle arm, grandson, 95-year-old grandmother. Guy's a clown. Let me see if I can dig it out. I gotta watch this fucking throw again. It was that bad. It was just so freaking pathetic. Yeah, got it. Good. All right, let's watch this freaking idiot just for fun. We gotta have some fun with it. I mean, the Yankees are so bad. We might as well just have a good laugh. Why not, right? Why not? Let's laugh at how pathetic Anthony Volpe is. And he was still one of the only guys that got a hit tonight, but he was still bad. I don't give a shit. Did you guys see that swing where he literally swung a sand wedge? You remember that swing? That was great. That was superb. That was a great swing by Volpe. The sand wedge that he got himself struck out on a pitch that was about 8 feet outside the zone. Yeah, that was a great at bat. Thanks, man. Awesome. Right, here we go. Let's get this shared out. There we go. There we go. All right, let's watch and you. That's great. Let's see this again. That's great. Okay. Taylor made double play. Volpe. Oh my God. Goldschmidt literally. Look at how Goldschmidt had to stretch for that play. Just
Goldschmidt, but Gasper.
Wow. Oh God. This is so good. How is the throw that weak? Look where Goldschmidt had to end up. He had to end up right by the freaking first base umpire. Oh my God. It pulled him off the bag and it was so freaking low. Look at that weak ass arm. It bounced a foot before the bag. Oh, I freaking hate you, man. I can't stand your face. Look at this. Idiot. Ooh, no, that's a joke. Throw like that. You're not even trying, man. You can't be a major leaguer. I'm sorry. There's no way you're professional. Look at this. You cannot be a professional with an arm like that. That's pathetic. Taylor made double play and your pathetic ass can't throw properly. Oh my God. I can't stand. I can't look at his face. Is he joking with that throw? He must be. It's not a serious ball player, can't be. It was I mean, what the fuck? It bounced a foot before the bag. Goldschmidt had to dive over by the first base umpire just to get there. And you got Aaron Boone sitting there last year going, he's fucking elite. You're fucking on, you lying bitch. DC Steals, that's elite. Yeah, it is. That is elite. It's elite again. He is elite, all right. What's going on? What's going on, John the Beagle Dad? He's hopped in. Yeah, apparently he's got a gold glove, and fucking my ass. My ass, he's a gold glover. What's up, YOLO? 90% of this team is pulling off the ball. Belly and Rice have done it a lot lately. Jazz does it every time. And those who say Arrays is worse must like strikeouts as runners in scoring position. Salute to you, YOLO. Thanks so much for your comment, man. And you're right. The quality of at-bats are startlingly poor right now. Donald, here's a good one from Wolfie from Chat BBT. Oh, this will be good. Volpe throws like first base is optional. His arm has a mind of its own. Every throw is an adventure. Volpe throws keeps the fans awake. Oh, that's nice. It does because the most routine throw is far from routine for Mr. Volpe. Like it's an exciting situation because you wonder where it's going to go. It's guaranteed not to go anywhere near the first baseman. I can promise. The first baseman in the most routine throws, the first baseman has to be frickin' Spider-Man. Frickin' Spider-Man to make the play. Honestly, Goldschmidt had to be Spider-Man to make that. But it was still so slow, insipid, and weak. Weak piss. Weakest piss that he obviously couldn't turn the double play. That's your shortstop. That's the shortstop that we have to kick Caballero out and go, yeah, F you, Caballero. This is Volpe's job. For an arm that is as weak as piss. I can't explain it any further. There's coddling. There's coddling, and then there's whatever this is. This is like beyond coddling. This is nepotism. That's all I can say. It's nepotism. Like he's obviously related to someone in the Yankee front office because I can't explain this. This is absolutely absurd. It's absurd at this point. It is absurd at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was certainly one of the funniest things I've seen. But there was another good one too. his sandwich swing was another thing of beauty as well. Do you want to continue laughing at Volpe? Because I do, and I don't care. It's my show, so I'm going to continue to have fun and rip the shit out of Anthony Volpe. Right, here's Mr. Strikeout. Look at this. This is a good one.
The curveball. You see that break left to right. That's
it. You know it. If YouTube's going to be on my ass now, I don't give a fuck. Here we go. Here we go again. Hey, look at that swing. Oh, that's great. What the fuck was that? Oh my God. I can't even describe that properly. Like, his technique is so bad on that swing. I mean, his front foot is all way out. He shows no. There's nothing good there. Like, that's bad. His front foot's all over the place. His back foot's all over the place, and he's literally swinging a pitch 8 feet outside the zone, and it was past him before he even swung the bat, and he swung it like it was a sandwich, like he was trying to chip a shot into the green on a par 3. I mean, that's what Anthony Volpe did there. Look at this, with pathetic ass swing. Oh, it's just so ugly. But this is our guy. This is our guy. Missed it by 6 feet. Yeah, exactly. Stuff and things. You did the right thing, man. I was just watching this just because I'm a masochist, I suppose. I watched the whole freaking thing. So yeah, five pitch inning. Volpe swinging a sand wedge. Volpe throwing like he literally doesn't have an arm. Volpe literally throwing like his arm got eaten by a shark and he doesn't have an arm. And it's just like a knob. Like, it's like ridiculous. Absolutely pathetic. So that's our shortstop. So he was good. But Warren was worse. He was not good. 0 strikeouts. How do you do that with that Red Sox lineup? I mean, that's almost as impressive as Volpe's arm. How do you almost go over 6 innings and have no strikeouts? Stevie B. Donald, I checked the score, went to TikTok, and watched Europeans' first takes on Walmart and Costco's in USA. I'll be interested on that one, man. I'd be interested. And what was the general consensus of our Walmart and Costco? I'd be interested. They honestly are the most boring team in baseball. Yes, they are. They're just lifeless, heartless. They decide when they want to play or not. Sometimes they just can't be bothered to play at all. And today was one of those days. Maybe they should let people know in advance, you know? Let people know in advance. We're sorry, guys. We're going to watch the World Cup like really soon. So I'm just going to fire through this game as soon as possible because we can't be bothered. It's really embarrassing. Good. Now, you know what's been great about this World Cup is that so many people are beginning to appreciate how great a freaking country it is and how incredible a country it is. Because, you know, with the media and all that stuff, all it does is just talk about politics, and all that stuff, and all the. And, you know, I think a lot of Europeans have a different perspective of what the USA really is. It's a country of great people, you know, great things to do. And the best host of a World Cup ever. Games have been great. I've really enjoyed it. I'm a big soccer fan, so obviously I'm going to be locked in anyway, but I have to be honest, like the previous World Cups kind of sucked. This one's been great. Games are exciting. It's been fun, and the USA are good this time, which is great, which is fantastic. This is the best USA team probably ever. It was the best USA team I can ever remember. So I know they lost, but they lost with their second string team. So I think they're going to go far. I think my guys could get to the quarterfinals. So yeah, the World Cup is far more interesting than the Yankees, who just are just so insipid. They're just so freaking insipid. I know you can't be great every game, but you can't show up like they did 24 hours ago. And then perform like this again today. Like that's back-to-back disgusting performances. And then you want to add the Jazz game where he's blowing a lollipop. Yeah, he's basically blowing a lollipop. He was sucking a lollipop and he was building a sandcastle. So that's 3 games in the space of a week where the Yankees are making a complete fool of themselves. And I'm done with it. Like, I'm done with this attitude. And this is why they don't win divisions. This is why they always fall apart in the summer. This is why the June swing is a real thing. This is why October Yankees is more of a clown show than it is in the summer. Because this attitude doesn't change. That's why I have this podcast, man. This is why I always call shit for shit. Because nothing changes. It's been going on since 2018. It's the same thing. It's the same story. Same slumps. Same long, listless slumps. Same stuff of players not giving a shit. The same issues of people throwing the ball over the infield. The same issues of coddling. Of mad amounts of coddling. The same excuses. The same fake tough guy acts. Nothing has changed since 2018. Just a different cast. Same mismanagement. Same treating positions like it's arbitrary. It's the same shit. It has to be tiring to some of you guys because it's tiring to me. I don't know how they keep doing this. And they keep thinking it's okay. Yes, stuff and things. Add idiotic base running. Every aspect to this team has holes in it. The fundamentals are awful. The coddling is awful. The excuses are awful. The energy is awful. Awful. But here we are. We're in first place. But, I mean, how much credit can you really give them? The Blue Jays have been... This has been one of the worst Blue Jays teams. Well, not like personnel-wise, but performance-wise. This is one of their worst seasons. The Orioles are the Orioles. The Red Sox, this is the worst Red Sox team ever. And by the way, they're kicking our ass. So the Yankees' only competition right now is the Rays. So, and then you look at the rest of the American League, it's all about 500. Or below. So how much credit can you really give the Yankees? We're just facing mediocre opponents, and we play mediocre, but we just kind of sneak by because we've got Cam Schlittler and a couple other great aces, and then one or two guys hit some clutch home runs and late in the game, and then we're pulling through by the skin of our teeth. That's basically the Yankee way this year. Now, they've kind of got just under a 600 winning percentage, which, I can't fault them for it. But it's hard to get excited because it just doesn't feel real. Because I've seen them play the way that they've played against the Tigers. Oh, they were awful in that Tigers series. Disgraceful. And they're worse in this series. They've lost 6 of the 9 games. So, and then you got a heck of a schedule coming up. Now we've got 2 more games against the Red Sox, so we have a chance of tying the series. I'll be surprised if they manage that the way they perform. They're going to probably lose 3 out of 4. I don't think they'll get swept, but if they get swept, oh my God, am I going to rant? Then you got the Tigers for 3. Well, the Tigers shouldn't be an issue, but Yankees were awful against the Tigers. Got the Twins. We always do well against the Central, but here we go. It's a juggernaut after that. The Rays, 4 against the Rays. They could overtake us in first place by then. In fact, if they don't already do it, there's a very good chance that they'll overtake us at that point. Then we got the Nationals, who are good this year. Then you got the Dodgers, and we're going to get cooked off the Dodgers. Then you got the Pirates, and if they throw skeins at us, then we're cooked for at least one game. And then we got 3 against the Phillies. Good luck. White Sox, maybe Murakami's back by then. I don't know. If he does, then, you never know. But okay, you got the White Sox. Then you got the Cubbies, then the Cards, and then the Braves, then the Mariners, and then the Jays. That is a rough time through to August. So like it's not like things are going to get any easier, and I don't like us against the National League. We get cooked against the National League, so there's a bunch of National League teams coming up against us. So that's you should be concerned about that, and it's we're making a complete clown of ourselves in this Fenway series. I just don't understand this attitude. Like, I mean, obviously on the face of it, it's not a big deal. We're still in first place. They're in last place. They're going to stay in last place. It's not like it's like a huge defining series, but it just goes to speak of how much things have changed. Because before, you never took games off against the Red Sox. Like, that was never acceptable. Under George, it didn't matter if you were 10 games clear, 15 games clear. It didn't matter. When you're facing the Red Sox, every game mattered. You can't be just giving them wins. And you can't play like you just don't care. Under Joe Torre, under Girardi, those games mattered. They meant something. They meant everything. And now we fast forward to the Boone era, and the Red Sox are just like any other team now. And we play them like every other team, and we just play a very poor standard of baseball. Such a lack of effort, such a lack of energy. There was no point in that game today where I thought, oh, we're gonna do something interesting. No, it was boring. We couldn't be bothered. We don't care. Let's just fast forward so we can watch the World Cup. It's a disgraceful attitude, and I want that attitude snuffed out. But it never does, because Aaron Boone cultivates it. I'm glad that Mattingly has those Phillies rolling. That's a real manager right there. We don't care. I agree, John, because I genuinely don't think we care. Stevie B, if they lose tomorrow, I'm going live, open panel, frustrating, let out. That'll be fun. That could be a lot of fun. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, Garrett Cole's coming up. Cole usually loves to beat up on the Sox, but I can see the Yankees losing 3 out of 4 in this series, and that would be a disgrace. But even sharing the series is a disgrace. This is the weakest American League ever that I can remember. Because I think if we were being honest, I think if the Yankees were playing the way that they've played this year and in any other year, the Yankees would be in 3rd place, 4th place. They'd be where the Blue Jays are. Because the Yankees haven't played well this year. but they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it because the other teams are worse. But I thought that today was insipid, and I had to talk about it. Absolutely insipid. But I just want this energy to change. I miss, I'll be honest, I really miss the old Yankee Red Sox matchups. They were so good. For those that are maybe too young to remember, they were so good. Go and watch them on YouTube. They were fantastic, man. I'd be up till 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 in the morning. These games would be going on 4, 5 hours. They would be marathons, 6 hours. They'd be freaking marathons. If you're up 5, you could be down 2 the next inning. It was exciting. Shit changed. It was crazy. And there was always a good fight. There was always a good fight in us. And it just and before, if you're losing by a couple of runs in Fenway, you never felt like you were out of it. Ever. Because you had Jeet, you had Matsui, you had A-Rod, you had Bernie, you had Tino, you had Paulie. And before you know it, a couple of hits, boom, right back in the game. And then we'd be throwing hands. I miss it. I miss that energy, man. The energy was just like injected in my veins. It's just like it's the best energy ever. The stadium would shake. The stadium would fricking shake. I went to a couple of Yankee Red Sox games at the old stadium. That stadium would fricking shake, baby. It would shake like nothing on earth. And that was a day game. And now 2026, and it's just like the Powder Puff Girls. And they're playing, I don't know, playing like girls softball league right now. The Red Sox suck and the Yankees suck more. Great. None of them care. Excellent. In fact, the Red Sox cared more than the Yankees did. See the energy Contreras put in? He's like, come on. And the Yankees were like blowing bubbles and just having a right good fun time. I think it's disgraceful what's happened to the Yankees. Yes, I went to the old stadium since the days before Nettles. Oh, wow. There we go. Banana Ball. Banana Ball is more fun to watch. And went nuts a few times. It did. It was energy, man. It was priceless. All right, actually nuts. Hey, question. All right, what's the question, my guy? Hit me up. Hit me up. Yeah, my granddad took me when I was young. It was the best, man. It was the best feeling ever. Right. Say the strike wipes out Boone's last year. Does he get a new deal? Absolutely. 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 Because where's the cutoff with Aaron Boone? Where's the cutoff with Aaron Boone? Serious question. Because you look at past incidents. You look at when he showed the Yankees the 04 Red Sox tape as a motivator, right? Did that cost him anything? No. New deal forthcoming, baby. Right? Wild card losses against Boston. Did that? Nothing? No. There we go. Another contract for Bunio, right? And then you fast forward. Then you get to 2024. You go to the World Series and get completely embarrassed. So many decisions were basically fully on Aaron Boone. and they got their asses handed to them, and to the point where the Dodgers were literally laughing at the Yankees, laughing at the Yankees incompetence. Did that stop Aaron? No. Brian Cashman came out and said there would be a feeding frenzy. A feeding frenzy. A feeding frenzy like Jaws for Aaron Boone. He gets a whole new contract. Whole new one. You didn't even allow him to play out his last year of his deal. No. He got a whole new one. Did last year's embarrassing display against the Blue Jays, was that it? Did that stop him? No, not at all. No. Brian Cashman doubled down on him again. Nothing will stop Brian Cashman. Nothing will stop him. Brian Cashman is got free reign to do whatever he wants. Nobody oversees him, and it's going to continue. Nothing's going to change. This has been going on since 2018. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that's going to change is Brian Cashman getting kicked out. Then we'll get a new manager. Or Hal Steinbrenner getting a set of balls, then Hal Steinbrenner going, right, we need a new voice. But it's never going to happen because he doesn't care. He's looking at the box score right now going, oh, the Yankees are in first place. That's good, right? I'm going back to Milan. You know? And when the Yankees get done in October, then he'll get his PR team, the Yankees social media team, to put out an AI generated image of Yankee Stadium, and it'll just say, thank you, fans. And then that's it. Job done. That's Hal Steinbrenner's job done for another 6 months. Right? So what difference is a strike going to make? All it is going to add another excuse to the Yankees. The excuses are rife for the Yanks anyway. They make excuses for anything. The weather, the conditions, the fans, anything. So the strike will be a new excuse. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't expect much to change here. Nothing will change unless something significant happens in order to force change. But the status quo can't continue. And I'll keep saying it. The status quo can't continue. This is an insipid, poor standard of baseball. It's an uninteresting team. It's a hard team to root for because we've got a bunch of assholes playing it. Jazz Chisholm one, Volpe another, Austin Wells another, and Boone blowing bubbles, and Brian Cashman sticking his middle finger in the air to Yankee fans, and Hal Steinbrenner on a boat to freaking Hawaii as we speak. I don't know, but this is what the Yankees are right now, and it's hard. It's hard to buy into this shit because nothing's changed since 2018. So that's your answer, man. I don't expect it. If you asked me this maybe a year or two ago when I was still optimistic that maybe something might change, then I would have said, yeah, maybe something would change. Nah, I don't see it. The Yankees love the status quo. They're happy with this. This is great. They've made the playoffs. That's all they care about. Right hand, well, that's true. This is true. That is spot on. Because remember that press conference, and Brian Cashman was talking about how Volpe's shoulder was much worse than anticipated, and it had everything to do with his performance. Meanwhile, on the same day, Aaron Boone said it had nothing to do with very little to do with his performance. It was just a bad season. So then your manager and your general manager are odds right there. And then Brian Cashman covered up by saying, oh, he didn't see his medical records. Well, my question is, why not? You know? And then Cashman's like, oh, that's on me. It could be maybe it's on me. It is on you, you arrogant gas bag. But no one asks him any questions. Everyone's afraid to ask him any questions because the media are working basically for the Yankees because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their access to them. So it's a tough situation right now. Boone is a figurehead. He is a figurehead. He's just a puppet. I'm telling you, he has to play Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone has to play Anthony Volpe. That's a must. But Boone's delighted to be a puppet. Not too many people are delighted to be puppets, but Boone is. Trust me, he's delighted. He's great. It's amazing. Like, Boone has the greatest job in the world. The media love him for whatever reason, but the media adores him. And the players, big softies like Aaron Judge and Volpe and Wells and stuff, they all love him. Jazz love him. Everybody loves Benio, right? So he gets zero of the blame when things go wrong, and he gets all the praise when things are great. I mean, he's got it made. He's got it made. And there's no accountability from above him. Because he's a puppet and he's a shield. Yep. That's it. So that's where we're at. It's a tough situation right now, and that's why I think these kind of podcasts are important, because I know it comes across overwhelmingly negative, but it's honest and it's important because the Yankees are so much better than this. There are better standards here. There's all heaps of history and incredible players that you can just look at in the past that would never put up with what we're putting up with right now. And I would like better standards. I'd like a better manager for sure. I would love a better general manager. Absolutely. I'd certainly love a better owner, but what it really comes down to is I just want better effort. I just want better effort. If you're going to play the Red Sox, I want you to fight. I don't care if you're 3-0, 4-0 down. I want you to fight. If you're going to clear the benches, then freaking make the most of it. You got to show who the fucking boys are in town here. You're representing New York. But the Yankees don't do that. They're just too freaking nice. They're too freaking friendly. They're too freaking goofy. It's hard to root for. It really is, because this is not New York. It really isn't. That's not a New York team. One true New York team, that's the Knicks. That's a true New York team. Come back from 20-point deficits, 29-point deficits, 32-point deficits. They'll come back and then punk your ass. But the Yankees, they're just like blowing bubbles and sucking on lollipops. It's hard. That's the kind of attitude I just hate. I hate it. And I want it to change. Don't I get it, but the situation we have with the injury has got to stay above water. Effort does need to be there, though. Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry. I don't care how many people are injured. You can't play like you have played the last 48 hours. You can't play. Well, yes, I'm sick of them too. And I'll keep saying it. Thank you, Evan. Thanks for hopping on. You can't play the way you've played for the last 48 hours. Like 24 hours ago, they had 4 errors going on about 8. And they didn't care. And then 24 hours later, against your arch rivals, your historic rivals, your hated rivals, with fans chanting Yankees suck and all that shit, and you still couldn't be bothered to show up? Apparently you're hated. They don't hate each other anymore. They're basically best buddies. But anyway, historically hated rivals. And again, you're having 5 pitch innings, and you're in a rush to go home. It was a perfect game through 6 innings. Come on. Pathetic. I don't care how many people are injured. Pathetic. Is it true Europeans don't have air conditioners Yeah, there's actually no air conditioning in my fucking house, and it's hot. It's getting hot as hell. It's like 90. It's hot as hell, and no air conditioning. Every window is open in the fucking house all day long, and fans going like fuck. It's rough. Yeah. If you want AC, you have to go in your car. uh, fuck France. Salute to you, Evan. Volpe needs to go. Jonathan, we had a good time earlier in the stream. We were showing videos of Anthony Volpe's golf swing, where he was like swinging a sand wedge to strike out, and then we were showing that beautiful throw where he managed to have the ball bounce about a foot before the first base bag, and Goldschmidt had to dive like Spider-Man just to make sure it didn't go right down the foul line. So it was fun. We had some fun, so I do recommend you guys check that out. But one thing is awesome, because I was thinking, I've done 2 Yankifieds today, and I was like, are my guys going to show up? And I said to myself, of course they're going to show up. They always show up. So that is a credit to you guys. That is a credit to you guys. You guys always show up, and honestly, it means the world to me. It means the world to me. I love talking to you guys. I love talking Yankees with you guys through the up, through the downs, through the history, through the fun. We're just riding through it together. So I just want to say a big, big thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody that watches. So if you guys could do me the favor, hitting that like button, sharing it out, subbing it up, get some subs up. But it's awesome, and I do love doing a Yankified for you guys because I know you guys are always going to show up. So it's a credit to you, and there would be no show without you guys. So give yourselves a big pat on the back, but also please hit that like button right now. Have an open panel for real talk. It's a great idea. Let's get that sorted out. We are all frustrated. I'm frustrated. I was just like, I was so sick of it. Yeah, absolutely. I was sick of it. I couldn't finish watching the game. I finished it to the bitter end, but I was just all I said just after each half inning was I just kept saying the word pathetic. Just pathetic. That's what they were. They were just pathetic. Listless, pathetic. It was listless and pathetic. It wasn't good. It just wasn't good. See you tomorrow. Well, if the Yankees lose, maybe you will. Donald, bring up Chat BBT for Jonathan. Yeah, Chat BBT was great. That's earlier in the chat. But yes, we got it here. Shout out to Stevie B here. Chat BBT. Volpe throws like first base is optional. It's the best decision. It's the best word choice ever. Volpe throws like first base is optional. His arm has a mind of its own. Every throw is an adventure. Volpe's throws keep the fans awake. It almost gives too much credit to Volpe's arm because it isn't even strong enough for it to be an adventure. It's just literally weak as piss. It is as weak as piss. It's a fucking 95-year-old grandmother's fucking throw to first base. It is pathetic. That is what he is. Absolutely pathetic. And we're going to see him tomorrow. We're going to see him every single day for the rest of our lives. On that note, this has been the Yankified podcast. And I'm wearing a Derek Jeter t-shirt because this guy is a real freaking captain, a real freaking leader, a real fucking Yankee, and a real fucking Hall of Fame player who would never, ever accept this shit. Never. Truth. See you on the next stream. Love you guys.